Today, I chose to talk about a very sensitive topic, which is unemployment. Especially with the lockdown and the current situation, so many people have lost their jobs in the past few months. And because the internet is such a big place where people like to share their thoughts, their ideas and stories, many people have posted their experience with unemployment on Reddit, and in this video I am going to read you some of these stories. I used to work as a waiter in a famous chain restaurant in Chicago. The management decided to close the restaurant I was working at on the 14th of March, and we all received the same news that we will be laid off from work for a short period of time. We've been told that the layoff period will last for 60 days, and by then, if we didn't get back to work, then it means that we have been permanently laid off. As soon as we heard the news, we knew exactly what was going on. I didn't waste any time and instantly started applying for other jobs. I called my mom the same day and told her I might not be able to pay my rent this month, but surprisingly, when I told my landlord the news and that I am basically planning to move out, he told me that I don't have to pay rent for that month. On top of that, he gave me $150 so I can provide for myself until I know what my next move is. The next story talks about a guy working as an accountant in a small company in his city. At the beginning of May, I have been called by my manager next to my colleague who is also an accountant. The manager basically told us that one of us has to go home and that if we both choose to stay, we will have to divide the salary between us while working half-time instead of working full-time. When I first heard the news, I instantly told my colleague that he should take the job. He's a father of 2 young kids and I am still 21 living with my parents. I figured I will be doing just fine if I lose my job, while he's got responsibilities ahead of him. I left my desk the same day after I collected all my belongings, even though I didn't have to go immediately. The third story talks about a guy who works in the construction industry. I worked at a construction site even though I wasn't good at it, but it was something to do rather than nothing. But in the beginning of January, everyone in the whole construction site has been laid off, and the company I was hired by decided to lay us off as well. The management told us we won't be permanently off. They told us we might come back to work after 1 year when everything starts slowing down. The depressing part about the whole thing is that I only worked there for 3 months after spending a year searching for a job. But I am still grateful, as I know many people have it worse than me. Luckily, my father had the opportunity to continue his job from home, so he can still provide for my family. I am still looking for a job even though everyone around me told me I shouldn't bother, but I still have hope my situation could turn for the better soon. My husband got laid off on Tuesday. He works about 3 minutes down the road from my work. He showed up at my work with tears in his eyes, apologizing to me for not doing enough to be kept. He works at a car dealership as an auto technician, and they have let go of 4 techs that day because of the decreasing business. They are letting go of more people this Saturday. My brother is a mechanic there and he is scared to lose his job too. They told my husband that when business picks up again, they might call and ask him to come work for them again. I'm very grateful that I work in the lab of a hospital, so my job is very much secure. I keep telling my husband that we will get through this, but I know that he keeps blaming himself. I'm a substitute teacher. If you are not aware, most schools are closing, and this practically means all subs are now effectively unemployed. It's unlikely that schools will return during this situation. So yes, thousands of people are out of work just from that alone. If you don't know, subs don't make any salary. We usually get paid hourly, which makes my situation even more complicated. I work as a manager at a large hotel. The general manager and the HR manager gave me a list of employees to call and inform them that they will not work at the hotel anymore. It was the hardest thing I've had to do in my life. I had to stop halfway through the list so many times just to sit in my office and cry. I had to encourage grown men and women that everything would work out and be okay eventually, even though I had no idea myself if or when it would ever be. However, I went to work this morning, worked my normal 10 hours, then I was laid off at the end of the day as well. I cried again on the way home. Now, this one was really tough for me to read. The fact that the general manager and the HR manager made him do all the dirty work just to lay him off as well is very, very upsetting. My experience is very much unique. In a nutshell, my wife and I live in New Zealand, and we had already planned a 2-year working visa in Toronto. We were supposed to leave in April, so we had obviously already handed in our notices of resignation to our bosses. Long story short, Canada shut its borders and my boss had already hired my replacement. As a side note, they shut the borders on my birthday. I am a movie theater manager. I knew it was a matter of time till I lose my job. The number of people who usually visit our movie theater can reach to 900 people every day. When the number decreased all of a sudden to less than 200 visitors, I immediately knew that they would have to lay off some employees, but what I didn't think would happen is that the whole movie theater would shut down. At first, they told us it wasn't permanent and things will soon go back to normal, but it's been months and things are not going back to normal anytime soon. I am lucky that I have been saving up some money and my current situation is not bad at all. But it really upsets me knowing that a lot of people who work in the building have no other source of income and they very much go check by check. Both my wife and I work in the restaurant industry. We've been both laid off of work at the same month. She's a type 1 diabetic and insulin dependent, and we've got 2 young kids. We have no idea what we're going to do. Insulin and supplies were already killing us. The thought of not being able to get her insulin is horrifying. We have already applied to some agencies that provide financial assistance, but we are still waiting for a reply. Even though life doesn't seem easy right now, but I still have hope. Now, I left the story till the end because this story actually has a happy ending. The same guy who posted this story gave us an update saying that some people reached out to him and helped him financially. The amount he received will help sustain his wife's health and his family overall. So he is really happy about it. Now that we have reached the end of the video, I would love to thank you for watching. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a like. And of course, if you like my content, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching again, and I will see you soon.